Welcome back to Copperhead Customs and welcome to a new episode on, well, kinda the 32. To see what I'm on about, keep watching. So, if you're new, we've got a 1932 Ford fiberglass pickup body, mocked up. It is sitting on, however, a 1933 Chevy chassis that's been fully boxed in and everything. And we've got a 283 Chevy motor. And someone, me, hates working on fiberglass because I like working on metal. So what I've decided to do is in our last episode of this, there's been a couple on it. One, we boxed up the chassis. The next one, we mocked it all back up together. And what I have decided to do is I've sold it. Sold it? What? You haven't sold it? I haven't sold the whole car, no. I've just sold all the fiberglass. All the fiberglass pieces because I don't like it. Don't like fiberglass. I don't know. If you've worked with fiberglass, I just hate it. Don't like it at all. Don't enjoy it. And you got to enjoy what you're working on, don't you? So if you're not enjoying it, what's the point of freaking doing it? So I do not enjoy working with the fiberglass. It's something I've never done. It's something I don't really want to do. So inside, for argument's sake, here we've got to join these two door skins together. Alright? But you've got to put metal in there. So then you've got to join the metal to the fiberglass. Same here. We've got to make fiberglass in here, and we've got to make the fiberglass piece up the top in there, to that gap. Up in there. And then we've got to bar all this out like a little roll cage, but then we've got to fiberglass the roll cage to the fiber. It's still, not to mention it's messy, it's itchy. I just don't enjoy it. So, what am I going to do? Well, you're going to have to stay till a bit later to see what my plan is going to be. But the first thing we're going to do is we are going to tear all this down. First thing we've got to do is we've got to move our 40 Chevy out the way. Again, bring our trailer back in. Tear all this down, load it back onto the trailer. Someone's coming to pick it up tomorrow. So I've got to get it all ready for him to pick up tomorrow. And then this can just sit here in the corner. The chassis can. And then I'll go and show you what my plan, which I think is a way better idea, is going to be. Reaper. Okay, so as you just seen, we took the Chevy out, brought the trailer in, put all the fiberglass onto the trailer, got it all ready for old mate who's going to come tomorrow, and we'll load that onto his trailer. Then we push the Chevy back in, and here's our 33 Chevy chassis. So if you want to know what my thought process is, this is my process. This is a Chevy chassis, okay, and a Chevy motor, and we got the fiberglass Ford, yeah? Now, everyone loves the 32s, rah-rah, but it's fiberglass. And I actually did like the shape, everything, but it's fiberglass. I just didn't like the fiberglass. At the end of the day, price-wise, well, a fiberglass car is never worth what a steel car is worth, is it? So, but it's nothing to do with the end result, the product, like the end result is in the money or any of that. It's got nothing to do with any of that. What it's to do with is you've got to enjoy what you're building. So when I mocked this up the other day, I did that on Saturday, and I haven't done any work since because I did not enjoy it one bit, and it made me not want to do anything. So for nearly a week, I haven't done any work in the shed because I didn't enjoy working on the fiberglass. So then I just went and did other stuff, worked in the garden and whatever. So you've got to enjoy what you're building. If you're not enjoying it, there's no point building it. So that's my logic is, yes, it's all well good to have a 32 Ford, yeah, but I don't want to have a fiberglass one as much as at the end of the day, yes, it's decent product, lightweight, whatever. There's the issues with painting. Painting on fiberglass is an issue, especially in Queensland where it's so freaking humid. Don't care what anyone says, the paint will lift off of a fiberglass cab no matter what you've done, okay? I've got factory Corvette, mate, so that has lasted 30 odd years, no issues. Comes to Queensland, goes outside for 6 months, boom, the bonnet starts lifting the paint. The humidity up here is ridiculous, and the fiberglass doesn't like it. So that's my thought process. Was I put the whole car up for sale, and then, as you would have seen in the other video before, I said, should I sell it? And then I went, well, why should I sell this? I've got a beautiful chassis that's boxed in, totally boxed in now. It needs a little bit more dressing up, but we've got a chassis that's boxed, and we've got a brand spanking new, freshly built by myself motor. And then we've got it all, you know, we've got new springs, new shocks, like we've done a bit of this stuff already, and then I'm thinking, why give all this away when this is what I do, and then I'm going to have to build a new chassis for something else. So what I decided to do was get rid of the fiberglass and put a different body on, okay, different cab. So that was my thought process. So now what we'll do is we'll pause, I'll walk up the top to where all my other ones are, and I will show you what I'm going to stick on it. So this is what we're going to use. I'm going to use this cab here. So this is a 1938 right-hand drive Chevy. So it's a Holden Chevy. So it's has Holden badges. So there's a big load of waffle on these, whether they're Holdens or Chevs. Some people say they're Holdens, some people say they're not, some people say they're Chevs. So I'm pretty sure this is a 38. Back then, Holdens didn't make their own cars, but they made bodies. They were like a bodybuilding company. So the Chevys used to come as a chassis with a motor, I think, and then Holdens would build the bodies for them. So I don't know, there's a big grey area on what these are. The purists, Holden purists say they're not, and then others say that they are. But anyway, it's a freaking 38 Chev. We have a little bit of rust in the cow there. We can fix that. The cab itself is pretty damn good. And it has wicked lines. This thing has wicked lines. I don't know if you've seen the roof, but it has these badass freaking roof lines. Split window. They're quite big. They're quite big this way. So the plan is we're going to channel this over the chassis a bit. I don't know how much. Now we've got some issues with our guard running board situation, so we're going to have to look at that. I'm not sure if I'm going to run it with guards or without. And I'm not sure what that nose cone off. It's definitely not off of this. I think it's actually a Dodge maybe nose cone. But I'm thinking we'll run that nose cone. Unless I can find... There is a couple I've found of 37 grills and 37 bonnets and guards. 37 Chev. So we'll see what I can pull off. But at this stage we're just going to worry about the cab. So the plan I'm thinking is we're going to get it on the chassis. And I'm thinking we're going to do probably at least a 3-inch chop. I think we're going to chop it. Now, this is a very challenging roof chop because of these humps. So I don't know if I actually want to extend a piece, because I don't know if I want to go through those humps. So I'm actually thinking, I've had a little suss, so we'll see how we go. But if I chop it, I'm actually thinking of just laying down that windscreen a tiny little bit, just changing the angle, because it's not a real lot that it needs. So that's the plan. I think is we're going to do a 3 or 4 inch chop. We're going to channel it. I'm just going to measure it all, because I want to sit in there. We're going to do full rat rod. We're going to do the full rat rod on it, metal rat. But we're going to keep the red leather seat and everything. We're going to run the red leather interior. So we're going to have it pimped out. We're going to pimp out the inside. Okay. I'm going to pimp all that out on the inside, like we were going to. The outside's going to stay like this. I don't think we may throw a little bit of paint, just a little bit, like airbrush some colour in on these patches, or we may, you know what I mean? We may not. We may just leave it full rusty and just coat it. We'll be losing the fuel tank. We'll be running an external fuel tank. We're going to probably do the same. I don't think we'll use this. I think we'll do a wooden tray like I was. We may use that. I don't know. We'll think about that later. But the plan is to get that cab on that chassis, and then we've got a Chev cab, a Chev chassis, and a Chev motor. So that's what I'm going to do, because I've always liked this cab, and I just thought that's a better way than building that stinking fiberglass, is to actually come and grab this. And I really like this nose cone on it. Now we'd have to do some, it's not in the right spot, of course, but I think I can get that in if I can't get the original ones. But we're going to try to get the original ones. But we've got numbers on this. We've got all the numbers. We've got chassis numbers. We've got everything. All the badges. So I think this is a better way to go. I think this is what we're going to do. We're going to put this Chev on that Chev chassis with a Chev motor. And we're going to build ourselves a real rat rod. So that's what I'm thinking. Like beautiful lines. Look at those lines. Like, so, you know what, we're messing around. This is what my idea was. We're messing around with this stinking fiberglass, and people mess around with fiberglass because they don't have these things. You know, we got all these things up here. There's more down there. Studebakers down there. This is a Ford, 36 Ford. We got another stubby nose Bedford that we're going to build. We got the long nose Bedford, which is probably, I don't know, probably keep this as garden, I think. But the stubby nose, I'm definitely going to build another stubby nose like our other one. This is another Chev chassis, 49 Chev pickup chassis. But yeah, I think this is my plan. So yeah, we'll pimp out the inside and do a full pimped interior, red leather, all beautiful. We're going to have it all done in patina. I'm unsure about whether we run guards or not. But I'm thinking we probably will, and we'll just fix this. We'll cut this out, put a patch in. I think the other side's really good. Yeah, that's where I'm sort of heading, and we're just going to have full rat rod. But if we can find the other front, and at this stage we're going to run this nose cone. No bonnet, but if we can find the front, we will. And I'm thinking we're going to chop that roof. We'll see how much we can take. You know, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. We don't know. Freaking 6. I don't know. What we want to make it look tough. So that is my plan. Drop the comments of what you think about what I'm doing. The fiberglass is sold, so hopefully I'm doing the right thing. But I think this is a better idea. Putting a Chev on the Chev chassis with the Chev motor, and it's out of metal. I think everyone will agree you're better to build one out of metal than fiberglass, aren't we? When you can. So that, my friends, is what we're doing. Now, that's the only video so far this week. Like I said, I haven't been working. I've been doing other stuff, and hopefully you enjoyed that little bit of ramble and something out of my head. So the plan is, I think now, on the chassis, I think the chassis is all going to be painted. You know, so all the running gear is all going to be painted and beautiful. The interior is going to be all blinged out, but the body is going to be like this. That is my plan. So, when am I going to pull this off? Not for a while. I don't think I'll get to this for a while. I've got to work out how I'm going to do it. Whether I just drag the whole thing down and split it down there, or whether I try to split it up here, I don't know. I suppose I'll just scrap the chassis. I'll pull off anything that may be useful to someone else, and we'll probably just scrap the rest. I think it's not much point me keeping the chassis up here with nothing on it. Means, you know what it means? It means I can go find something else to put here. But I think that's the plan. I think that is the plan. And so I think what we'll do is we'll just do a bit more on that, on the chassis down there. I don't think there's no point painting it or anything yet, because we're going to have to make new mounts. But there's a bit more grinding and stuff I'd like to do. And yeah, then when we'll jump back on the Oakland, I think. And when I feel like it, I'll come and we'll grab this, push it down there, and we'll get going. But first things first, we'll get that Oakland to a point. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time looking at you.